Good evening. Welcome to Tuesday Night Rotor Talk Live. I thought you'd enjoy my new opening. How did everybody like that? Did you guys like that today? Why don't you guys give me a holler and let me know? I had a lot of fun getting that put together for me. So that was great. Let me bring the chat up. I hope you guys had a great Tuesday. I did. Went very well today. Had a good day at work. That always helps for second day of the week, that's for sure. So let me go ahead and get the chat window open so I can greet everybody today. Let's get things popped out here. Okay. Rick Halber, welcome. Lon, welcome. Brent, welcome. Steve Carpenter, welcome. Floyd, Al, Brian from Smoky Mountain Aerial Imaging, here for the enterprise questions. Awesome. Great. That is fantastic, Brian. Mitch, welcome. Steve Carpenter. What'd you guys think of the new opening? Your daughter's job interview. Whoa, Bill Thomas. That's fantastic. That's great. So did you guys like that new opening? Well, what's the word on that? Valerie really liked it. So if you guys like the opening, let me know. Boy, if I can only type today, I'll be doing real well. So did you guys see it? Okay. Did you guys see the opening? Okay, I'm typing into the chat window and it's not showing. I don't know why. Oh, there it is. Okay, okay. It's explosive. Great. Welcome, Mike Roach. Glad you saw that, Brian. Okay, I got things kind of squared away here. Like it. Great opening. Thank you, guys. Thought it kind of jazzed things up here a little bit. I really like that. That's my second favorite. My favorite is the one that I currently have in the videos now. I really like that. Got it from found somebody on Fiverr, and they've taken very good care of me. So, and very, very, very reasonable rate. It's kind of explosive for a drone chat. Before we get started here, just want to pause for a second. A lot of you know I was born and raised in Pittsburgh, and what happened on Saturday was a tragedy that hit all of us. It hit across all denominations. It hit across all races, everybody. And it was devastating. And actually, to let you guys know, I had been by that synagogue probably at least 1,000 times in my life. Just a wonderful neighborhood, a wonderful area. And I would like to pause for a moment of silence to remember those whose lives were lost on Saturday and for their loved ones. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. All right. Well, we're going to get started in on this. And one of the first stories that I saw, and we're going to get to the enterprise here, Brian, and I'm glad you're here tonight. It's going to be one of the things we're going to talk about. And I have a video coming out tonight after we're done here, so be sure to watch out for that. I think you guys will like that. David Ma, welcome. Joe, welcome. You have friends in Squirrel Hill. Wow, Joe, that's incredible. Yeah, that's wow. And I lived 10 minutes from there when I grew up. Where I grew up was 10 minutes from there. Can't say enough about how wonderful the area is, wonderful the people are there, just fantastic. Okay, Thomas, welcome. One of the first things that I saw today before we get to that was I got, let me go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here. Came across a very interesting article. Saw about DJI drones falling out of the sky, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? I was like, all right, let me see if I can get that up. Thought I had that up here. Okay, yeah, here, heads up, some DJI drones are just falling out of the sky. And this article is on Gizmodo, and Brian, you may lend a little help with this. DJI has revealed that one of its drone products is having issues that are causing some to plummet from the sky. The company released a warning on Friday, and this is what? Today. Let me take a look at this. date on this. Yeah, it's today. So DJI is aware of a small number of reports involving drones in the Matrix 200 series that have lost power mid-flight. Flight safety and product reliability are top priorities. Our engineers are thoroughly reviewing each customer case and working to address this matter urgently. Release came on the same day the United Kingdom Civil Aviation Authority posted a safety notice stating the few incidents were reported in which DJI Mavic 200 lost power, even though the drone still had sufficient battery charge, resulting in the aircraft falling directly to the ground due to the immediate loss of lift, with the remote pilot unable to control its subsequent flight path. A DJI spokesperson told Gizmodo they cannot say how many drones had lost power mid-flight, as the company is currently reviewing cases and some seem unrelated to the power problem. DJI released the Mavic 200 in 2017. The company promotes it as an ideal drone for search and rescue purposes and industrial inspections. In June, taser maker Axon announced it was teaming up with DJI to modify Mavic 200 series drones, among other UAVs, into surveillance drones for law enforcement. The DJI release about the falling drones states their drones are tested for thousands of hours. The majority of users have minimal disruption. The company says it is looking to implement additional safeguards and recommends that customers update their firmware for their drones and batteries through DJI app or DJI Assistant 2 software. Okay, that was very interesting coming across that today. That really, I'm like, wow, that's very interesting. Harry Barbosa, welcome. Good to see you here. Dustin Moorhead, welcome. Thank you for joining tonight. It's mostly M210. Okay, Brian, thank you for qualifying that. I found that rather interesting because what I found, I mean, it's always, you know, it was newsworthy, but beyond it even being newsworthy, the article was, they said this happened on Friday and it's now Tuesday, or that they're actually publishing information about it, which I kind of thought not ha-ha funny, but funny that we hadn't heard about something like that before. So let's go ahead and we're going to get to talking to the enterprise. Cardasso Media, welcome. Thank you for joining. Benito, welcome. Thank you for stopping by tonight. Drone Shots, glad to see you guys here. Mavic 2 Enterprise. You know, this was also, first of all, I'm going to say it was anticlimactic. We knew it was coming. I mean, you know, we saw the pictures of the loudspeaker. We saw the pictures of the strobe. We didn't see the pictures of the searchlights until DJI had their the Frontiers little thing that they like to do with their shadowing and put up an image. And you know, most people correctly guessed. And I know, hey, Castellou from Drone DJ actually, you know, did some Photoshop, lightened it up, and you could see it. I mean, it was there. We all knew this. Also want to thank Brian. He sent me a few images, and I'm going to post them out on the Bill the Drone Reviewer Facebook group and page from DJI Mavic 2 Enterprise in the case with all the accessories in it, just so you guys can take a look at it and see what it looks like worldwide. You guys know the price on it. It's $19.99. I think Fly More combo is around $450. I just, you know, first thing I have to say, you know, and I know Brian talked about this as well too. Now, DJI is not only touting it for search and rescue work, which I think it's very capable of doing. They're touting it for utilities as well. And Brian brought up a good point that when they were looking for pilots for hurricane relief efforts, and also basically for utilities as well too. And correct me if I'm wrong, Brian. You had mentioned, you know, the minimum type of equipment they're looking for is a 20 megapixel, a drone with a 20 megapixel camera. And the Mavic 2 Enterprise has a 12 megapixel camera. So, you know, I don't know, that kind of seems like a disconnect right there. But yeah, Yellow Lab, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. Kind of, you know, I don't know. I mean, you know, that just seems, you know, DJI on one hand with the search and rescue in the three accessories for the search and rescue, they're touting this as something, you know, for industrial applications as well, and it doesn't have the type of camera that is usually required by a lot of these, you know, for like utilities inspections for cell phone towers, and Brian could probably speak to that as well. They're mandatory in power and cell towers. Exactly, Brian. You know, so that kind of befuddles me that DJI is touting that as something for the cell phone towers and inspections, but yet it doesn't have that type of camera. And you know, one of the other thoughts that just hit me right away, yeah, the thermal camera. Yeah, that's a good point, Steve. You know, what hit me right away is it's really, you know, at its core, you know, it is a Mavic 2. It's a Mavic 2 zoom at its core. You know, and I have a video that talks about this, so I'm not going to spoil my video, but at its core, it's really a Mavic 2 zoom. You know, looking at the specifications, the features and everything. For search and rescue work, I think it's going to be great. What's your thought on the first use of Mavic 2 batteries? What percent should I drain to, and for how many flights? What does it even matter? That's a very good question. Let me get to that here in a second. I want to finish up this talk about the enterprise here. So one of the things that I was kind of surprised at, I kind of thought that DJI was going to nickel and dime as far as like the loudspeaker and the strobe light and the searchlight, but it's all included, which I thought was rather interesting. One of the other interesting things that I really liked about it was the 24 gigabytes of onboard storage. I thought that was that's an industry first. I mean, there's no, I mean, you know, there's 8 gig on the Mavic 2 Pro. There's 8 gig, I believe, on the Mavic Air. And this is a first. I mean, really, 24 gig. That's pretty incredible. 123 the man. As far as, you know, battery percentages are concerned, you know, my whole caution with battery life and with you know, when you're first using them, one of the things that I can tell you, number one, you want to make sure they're fully charged before you use them. Number two, don't. I mean, my absolute positive drop dead minimum is 15%, because you let it go 15% and get it, and it goes below 10, you can start to damage the battery. So don't let it get below 15% is what I have to say. And always, you know, if you're new to drones, 1, 2, 3, you know, or, you know, this is, you're new to the Mavic series, or just in general, you know, my whole thing is, you know, get it down to 15, let it cool off, and then when you get inside, and then charge it up. Now, you know, if you don't use your drone for a week or so, it's going to discharge, and that's part of the battery, and that's part of how that's built. So thank you, Steve Carpenter. I appreciate that. Yeah, that heated battery, that's a, you know what, that's a good point, Lon, and that's something I wanted to talk about too. You know, I looked at the operating temperature, and I had it written down somewhere. I had it first in Celsius, but it's really interesting because, you know, if a lot of you guys live up north and you know how cold it gets in the winter, you know, have that battery warming feature is a nice thing. But my question is, how long can it keep it warm? You know, I've seen, what was it? I think Rick Smith put out a good video, and if you're watching tonight, Rick, hi. He put out a good video about keeping batteries warm in the wintertime, because he flies in the winter a lot. He lives up in New Jersey, and it'll be 85. Wow. Well, Steve, you know, we're getting into winter into Florida right now. Our high was 82 today, so it's a welcome relief. It's getting into the 60s and kind of trying to get to the 50s at night. So, but you know, for the battery heating, I think it's a good thing. But I think where DJI is that's where they're gonna nickel and dime you here, guys. You know, it's 135 for a Mavic 2 battery as it is right now. My guess, I'm thinking they're going to charge a minimum 200 for this. You may even see like 235 for something like this, $100 more. And really, you know, I'm not an engineer, so I can't explain how this works. Yeah, Debbie, I agree. You know, if I need a heated battery, you know, I'm not going to be out flying, okay? But I think it's ideal for probably for first responders, for search and rescue, that type of thing. DJI did put some good promotional videos together. One of the other things that I wanted to talk about, you know, I did want to talk about that heated battery, is that loudspeaker. The loudspeaker sounds, in essence, like a good feature to be able to alert somebody, like wave your hands so we can see you. But the problem is it's not real time. It's not real time communication. Wow, Lon, that's great. That's absolutely great. You know, because it's not interactive, and you know that could be problematic. And there's a video I have coming out that explains, you know, I have a clip from DJI how that whole system works. And one of the other things too, and I think Brian, you could probably touch on this as well. It does have a new app. It's called the DJI Pilot. And what's very interesting, 100 decibels, thank you, Lon. What's real interesting is this is only available on Android devices. This is not available on Apple iOS devices. It's only available on Android. And that really was like right away, that really kind of hit me. I'm like, that's interesting. That they are only gearing this for Android devices. Yeah, that really kind of was different. I wasn't expecting. I was expecting both Android and Apple, but this is only going to be for Android. I mean, I don't know what the thoughts were behind that in doing that. I don't understand. So I don't know. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Mitch. It is Android. Change the camera on the Mavic 2 Enterprise and it opened doors just like the Zenmuse XT2. Works only with Z30 and neither are capable of 20 megapixel. Hence why we have to use XT and X4S or X5S to inspect. That good point, Brian. Thank you. You know, that's one of the things, Brian. You bring up a good point. You know, and I want to get back to this camera again because Brian is actually out there doing this work, and you know, kudos to Original Dobo hanging around with Brian and actually getting to see that. If you get a chance, watch that video. It's fantastic of what Brian does. You know, doing power line inspections. It's hard work. It's not easy, and you know, Brian does an exceptional job at it, and it takes a lot of effort to do this. And you know, he has a Matrice doing this. Now to do this with a Mavic 2 Enterprise, yeah, you know, you're basically looking at a zoom camera with there, and it doesn't have, you know, it has 12 megapixels, and you know, this is like, you know, I don't know how a lot of places will do this. Now, Brian, I don't know if you know the answer to this or not, but it may be different overseas. It may be different over in Europe and Asia as far as how they do inspections over there. I don't know. You may have some insight onto that. I don't know. JB Jones, I didn't see you. Glad you're back. I hope you're doing okay. Good to see you. Chris Hope, I didn't see you earlier. Thank you for showing up tonight. Dronescape Imagery, thank you for showing up as well too. You know, this whole thing, you know, with the, you know, the camera, Brian's brought up a real good point about that, and I think that's something that DJI is going to have a hard sell on that. I really think so. You know, it just, you know, that's a big difference going from a 20 megapixel to a 12. And, you know, as Brian will explain to you, you know, and you watch that video that he did with Original Dobo, you know, that image quality is extremely important when he's doing power line inspections. And it would be extremely important, you know, with cell phone tower inspections as well. And, you know, there's no substitute for that. And there's no real options as far as cameras are concerned for this. This is what you have. This is what you have to use. And I think, and this is just my personal take on things here, is this was primarily geared for search and rescue, you know, first responder type of situations, which I think it's great. I mean, I think there's some fantastic tools that you can do that. Is there a designated button or a wheel for the shutter speed on the controller in Mavic 2 Zoom? Can't seem to find one like on the Mavic Pro. That's a good question, 123 the man. Hang on here a second. So, you know, what I'm thinking is they kind of thought, well, you know what? we can go ahead and put some onboard storage on here. You know, tout the zoom feature, which the zoom feature is great. Don't get me wrong on that. It is a great feature. And kind of market it as doing, you know, cell phone tower inspections, power line inspections, windmills, that kind of thing. And, you know, I think they're trying to sell it as that, and it's not really there. It's not really that. It's something that won't do. And I think the other thing is too, you know, as far as can somebody answer 1, 2, 3 the man's question about the Zoom? If you can do that, because I'd appreciate that. Thank you, guys. I know you guys can handle that. You know, so my whole thinking regarding that is, you know, the Zoom was needed for the search and rescue, and it's rather obvious in its functions and capabilities. As you saw in some of the videos, DJI has put out some good promo videos regarding that, but I think it's very weak on, you know, doing the power line inspections, the cell phone towers, and so forth. I think as far as those type of applications, and as Brian states, you know, he has some unbelievable cameras with his Matrice, and you can see easily, you know, watch that video again, you know, and we personally experienced it, and we're able to see that with the thermal imaging. These are fantastic, and there's no options available like this for the Mavic 2 Enterprise. Now, I could be wrong. They could go ahead out and switch out a camera and let you be able to do that, but I mean, there's nothing here with that. So I think that's where we're at with this. So yeah, Steve, thank you. I appreciate that. GGO put the Mavic 2E because first responders need cheaper options. Not many rescue teams can afford M210 with sensors. Brian, that's an excellent point. You know, I think what DJI is trying to do, I think, like Brian said, I think this was a drone that was specifically geared for search and rescue first responders, and it's a very affordable option for them, you know. And they're also trying to kind of like fit that round peg in a square hole and saying, well, you can inspect cell phone towers, you can inspect power lines with this, and it's like not really. So, you know, they're trying to sell it like that. I think that's a hard sell. I really, really do. As far as that's concerned. So, our local police department bought a Matrice M210. They have 2 Part 107 pilots who can fly and help out search and rescue. That's great, Dustin. Rick, thank you for checking on that. I appreciate that. So, you know, that's one of the things with the Enterprise, as far as that's concerned. You know, guys have any questions for Brian on that? Well, you know, we got Brian here tonight. If you have any questions, I think, you know, that would be great, because he's actually seen it and had a chance to see it fly and stuff. So if you guys have any questions for Brian? Going once, going twice. We're going to move on here. Going once, going twice. Ding. So I'm glad you guys like that new opening. I had a lot of fun with that. And I'm going to probably try one for the, and there will be, you know, as long as I'm feeling up to it. And I want to thank you guys for hanging in there. You guys that watch Cliff, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I know I was supposed to do a Sunday afternoon Rotor Talk Live. I was still I had a double ear infection, sinus infection, and it's finally getting out of my system. I'm drinking a ton of fluids to try to get it out. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk about was, you know, and I've had a lot of questions. There's a lot of news coming out of the Airworks conference, and you know, I'm trying to sift through that. And you know, it also happened today, was not only the first day of the Airworks conference. Apple decided to have a little, just a little announcement today about an iPad Pro that's probably more than my computer. So I don't know. Anyway, as far as that's concerned, okay. You know, one of the other things I've been getting a lot of questions about has been this built-in controller. Now, we did see that if you watched the video that was shown at the See the Bigger Picture event, and I forget the gentleman's name, the filmmaker. He was fantastic, who filmed the event. They showed pictures of the controller in the boat on their way there when they were up in Greenland. Original Dobo, welcome. Thanks for showing up tonight. They showed pictures of the controller there and with the screen and everything. And you know, I've been getting a lot of people asking me, are we going to see it here? Well, understand this was the day one of the Airworks conference down in Dallas, and it's a 3-day event. It's the 30th, the 31st, and the 1st. So, you know, there's plenty of time for them to do something like this. Now, the conference officially started today, but their announcement, and I think I've told you guys this, what they do, it's what they call a soft release. It's not where they have an event like See the Bigger Picture, like, you know, we went to and were able to attend. It's done through the media. It's done online. It's basically a soft release. Now, they may have physically had something down in Dallas. I don't know. I didn't see anything on that. I didn't see, you know, I did see their press release on it, but I think that's how they handled it. They handled it as a soft release. And if they do something with the controller, now I think that would be a great play for Christmas. You know, for those of us who are already here, you know, I think that would just be dynamite, because that would DJI, you know, they obviously focused on selling Mavic 2s for the Christmas season, for the holiday season coming up here. And if they come out with a controller, and hopefully, you know, I think that this is just a guesstimate because I haven't really seen anything on it. You know, if they don't come out with it during Airworks, they'll probably come out with it in a week or so, and they'll definitely do it before Black Friday. If they do that, that's going to sell like nobody's business, because I can't tell you how many inquiries I get on that a day, emails I get a day, you know, whether I get comments through BillTheDroneReviewer or one of my Mavic 2 group, or through the Facebook page, or emails. People are asking me about that controller. Now, be prepared, because especially if it's a Crystal Sky controller, that is going to be pricey. And, you know, the controllers right now, what? They run about $250, if I think I'm right. I'm thinking, you know, if it has a built-in monitor and a controller, you're probably looking pushing $500–600. But I can tell you this, they will fly off the shelves. If DJI does this right and, you know, maybe puts it together with a package, you know, and, you know, buy the Fly More combo, get $100 off, or just something, or just package it together. They'll sell Mavic 2s, both Zooms and Pros. They'll sell the Fly More package, and they will sell the daylights out of the handheld controller with a built-in screen. They will sell that like hotcakes, because imagine, you know, you don't need your phone. You won't need a tablet. You can use this, and the screen's big enough. Screen is big enough for me. The reason I use an iPad mini instead of the phone, I mean, my phone's a decent size, okay? I have a Note 8. It's a decent size, and I've used it before in a pinch. You know, when I went flying with Original Dobo, because my tablet was going a little wonky. And it works. It works well. But for me, for my eyesight, I like the bigger size screen. And I think from what I've seen with that Crystal Sky that would be in there, you know, it's a little bit bigger than that, and I think that would just be absolutely perfect. So I'm kind of crossing my fingers on that. I really do. I'm really kind of hopeful on that. So I'd be happy with a second slave controller, James. That could happen. You know, I don't know, but you know, my guess is there's been so much talk about it, and I'm surprised our buddy Mr. OSITALV hasn't said anything about it. He's been kind of quiet lately, so I don't know about that. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking with this controller, I think we're going to see this. This is going to be this is going to be a wonderful holiday gift for your favorite drone reviewer. Hello. I'm just kidding, guys. Just kidding. You know, I'm trying to save my nickels and dimes for CES, and I'm going to talk about that here in a few minutes as well too. But you know, as far as the controller is concerned, that's what I'm thinking along those lines. 5.5 inches long. I think you're right, and I think that's a perfect size for this, because you don't want something, you know, when you start getting bigger, you're talking about a tablet. When you get smaller, you're getting phone size. That's a perfect size. So good point, Lon. Thank you for bringing that up. Mav Mount 3.0 and iPad Pro 9.7. Good times, Dronescape. That does sound good. One of the other things I wanted to talk about tonight was, you know, CES is coming up, and it's coming up in January. And yours truly, we're going to be, you know, as soon as I get my finances together, we're going to be getting tickets for that. And we're looking forward to going to that. Now, I'm thinking, you know, we're going to be, you know, we're going to be seeing some new drones out there. And I got a video coming out on that probably this weekend on my thoughts regarding CES. And also I got and then I'll have separate videos out for the drone or drones that DJI may be releasing. Now, one of the things for me was, you know, DJI does not release its sales figures. You guys know that. And one of the great things, Sally French had an article out she got from what's the app's name? And I forget, Kitty Hawk. And their most registered drone was the Mavic 2 Pro. You know, obviously DJI was first, Unique was second, which was real interesting. But the Mavic 2 Pro, then the Phantom 4, you know, then the I think the Spark was up in there and everything. But I need to tell you guys something. You know, for me, you know, I was a stats guy. I minored in data analysis in college. Samsung S8 has 1,200 nits. That is bright drone shots. You're right. I majored in data analysis in college, and one of the things, you know, I look for trends on data that I can access and that's accessible to me. Okay, now, you know, you guys know I have a Mavic Air group. I have 2 Mavic Air groups. I have 2 Spark groups. You know, I have the Mavic 2 Pro group, and I also have a Phantom 5 group that people are slowly but surely, you know, getting a part of. You know what group I get the most add-ins every day? And Steve Carpenter will testify to this because he does. Steve, you know, a big shout out for Steve. You know, not only being a moderator here, but also, you know, he takes care of adminning several of these groups. So, you know, I'm gonna, you know, guys, give Steve a hand. He really does yeoman's work. So, Steve, thank you so much. Santa was going to send you a little bit of extra, and if he doesn't, I'll take care of that. I definitely will, for all your hard work. I appreciate that. But as far as that's concerned, you know, one of the things that I see with that is I get anywhere, you know, maybe on an average day, 5+ requests for Sparks. And I started that group out at 0. It's about 1,700 right now, and it's climbing. It's the group that has the most activity every day. It's the Spark group, and I would say number 2, and it's catching up, is the Mavic Air group. There's a lot of activity with these groups, so that tells me that Spark sales and Mavic 2 sales are still going very, very well. As far as that's concerned, they're out of sight. They really are. So, you know, we'll be discussing this coming up here. But we're looking forward to going out to CES. We'll probably go out there for like a couple of days. You know, I'm trying to gear it towards when DJI's may have something, and I'm waiting to hear back from them. I did get an email out to them, so. Yeah, Steve Carpenter, again, thank you so much for that. So, you know, what I'm seeing, you know, as far as trends are concerned, I'm seeing the Mavic, you know, I'm seeing the Spark, and I'm seeing the Mavic Air. I'm seeing a lot of interest in those. Of course, my Mavic 2 Pro group, I started from scratch, and it just went over 1,000 the other day, which is fantastic. So, and thank you guys for contributing to these groups. I really appreciate that. And like I said, Steve does fantastic work on that, and I think Ron Brown helps out as well. I think I have him there, and Bill Thomas. Here, let me put a plug in. You guys need to watch Coast to Coast Drones tomorrow night on Halloween. You're going to have the Bucket List boys, Ron Brown, myself, and Bill, and it's going to be a beautiful show. Okay, there's my bad joke of the night. My beautiful show on Halloween. So be watching tomorrow night. We're going to have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun with Bill and Ron. Bill is a great guy. So I'm putting a plug in for you, Bill, if you're still on. So I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. I had a blast the first time. So you guys need to check it out. Coast to Coast Drones, Drone Therapy. We're called the Bucket List Boys, and I think Bill's going to get a T-shirt done for us. So let me know you do get that T-shirt. I'll get you some money, Bill, because I think that would just be an incredible T-shirt. I think it would sell very well. Anyway, there's your plug for Coast to Coast Drones, Drone Therapy tomorrow night, Bucket List Boys. So it's going to be at 8:30 Eastern, so be sure to be tuning in. Do not miss it. It's going to be a great show. Are you going to deliver Halloween candy with your drones? Steve Carpenter, that's a great question. It's interesting. That's a good question good thing that you brought up, Steve. I'll do a little bit of we'll do a little rabbit trail here. There is a new church here that's having a candy helicopter drop tomorrow, believe it or not, in the area. So I thought of that when you just said that. So is anybody found a way of changing shutter speed from the Mavic 2 Zoom controller like we could do with the Mavic Pro? Or is DJ going to bring out an update that makes it possible? 123 the man. I'll tell you what, if you could do me a favor, if you could send that question to BillTheDroneReviewer@gmail.com, I'll put that out on my Facebook groups. And if you're a part, I have a Bill the Drone Reviewer Facebook group and a Facebook page, and there's also a Mavic 2 group as well too. So send me an email, and I'll get you hooked up with those groups, and I'll definitely get that question out there, unless somebody can answer that question right now, because I don't have a Zoom, because I can't answer that question. So should be done with candy by 8:30. Yeah, that's what we're targeting in our area, to be done with candy tomorrow night. So good thing, 123 the man. Please go ahead and post that out there. And like I said, post those questions out there, because people are good in these groups. And this is something else that I wanted to bring up was yesterday. It never ceases to amaze me. Now, I had to put up a warning in my Spark group because somebody posted something. They were at some god-awful 5,000 feet up or something. And another one was like, said, oh, yeah, I went 3.5 miles out, and da-da-da-da-da, and all this. And I'm like, okay. So I delete those, and I put up a warning. And, you put that out there, it's going to be deleted. Second time you do it, you're out of the group. Well, yesterday, I found somebody in one of the Mavic Air groups, all right, 10,000 feet. He had the Mavic Air up at 10,000 feet, had a picture of it. Not only did it have a picture of it, if you guys saw it, he did a screenshot of the app with 10,000 feet. I mean, and people wonder why the FAA comes up with rules and why they're coming up with these things. I mean, it's because of nut jobs like that. I mean, and he's like, oh, I guess this isn't the group for me if you're gonna delete those. I said, well, I guess it isn't. So I deleted. He had a follow-up comment, and I put him on there. I mean, I'm crystal clear about that. Steve knows that too. Steve Carpenter, and he has latitude to delete those too. I think as a mod you can do that, and if not, I'll make you an admin, Steve, for that, because that's one thing I won't tolerate. I won't tolerate these, oh, I'm at 5,000 feet, 10,000 feet, that kind of stuff. No, that's not gonna show up. Okay, pictures that I'm gonna show up: sunsets, just good hyperlapses. My buddy Ron and Mike that have the Spark and the Evo, they took pictures of each other's drones while they're up in the air here in Florida. Great pictures. See, that's the kind of stuff I love, and I want to see in the groups. And 99% of you guys, that's what you put in these groups and in my groups. And thumbs up for you guys. You guys do fantastic jobs. Your videos, fantastic videos. Absolutely zero complaints on that. However, you know, this stuff where people are doing this and pushing, as I said, pushing the outer edge of the envelope kind of stuff, gone. Going to be history. You know, the other thing I said is flying beyond visual line of sight. That's another thing in there too. And people are bragging, oh, I'm flying 3, 4, 5, 6 miles. You know, you do that, you know, that's, like I said, number one, the shot across the bow, that picture is going down, or that comment's going down. And number two, you do it again, you're gone from the group. I mean, I just, you know, and that's why I want to run groups. I hate to go back to, you know, my moment of silence from tonight and what happened, the tragedy that happened over in Pittsburgh. But one of the things I want peaceful groups. I open my groups to everybody worldwide, and I want people to be able to go ahead and feel free to post things in here without any worry about, you know, oh, you know, this is something that's not legal, da da da. That's taken care of, okay? You know, I take care of that stuff. I want you guys to enjoy these groups. And, you know, and like I said, I get people worldwide. You know, that's why I do my Sunday afternoon Rotor Talk Live. I do it for our friends over in the UK. And if some of you are watching tonight, and, you know, in Australia and Germany, you know, I get Norway. I get so many people out there, you know, and we're diverse cultures, everything. But the one thing that we all have in common that we love flying drones, okay? It's just, it really is a big deal. Being able to, having this privilege of being able to fly drones. So I don't want that taken away from us. And I'm doing everything I can in my groups to make sure that what you guys see out there is legit. It's cool. And, you know, I hear, you know, and the other thing that I take care of in these groups, and you'll find that too, people start arguing with one another, you know, those comments are gone, or I'll lock the comments down. And, you know, there'll be no more additional comments for stuff like that. And I've messaged people too. I'm like, guys, look, you know, we have one thing in common. We love to fly drones. Let's keep it that way. All right. Well, I'm not going to spoil too much. I know we're going to talk about it tomorrow night. But Hubsan is coming out with a Zino, and we talked about it not last week, but the week before on Coast to Coast Drones on Bucket List Boys. And that looks like a great drone. I think Ron sent a message. He pre-ordered his. It's going to be shipping. It's shipping today. So he may have his in the next coming days. And I am really anxious and on pins and needles to find out how this is going to work. What a great drone that's going to be. You know, for that price point, I mean, it looks like a Mavic, okay, Mavic Pro, but you know, it has more like the specs of probably a Spark, but with a 4K camera. So this is going to be very interesting. And you know, it was done Indigo. Yeah, it was done Indigo. So, you know, Indiegogo. So, you know, I don't know. You know, this is a big question. If Hubsan can do this, it's going to be a boom for them. I mean, really, they're going to make a statement. They may just leapfrog, you know, Parrot and Unique and get a real name out there. I mean, you know, they have good drones. The good drones, they make some good drones right now. But it would elevate them. It would kind of like get them on par and get them noticed to come out with something like this. And from everything I've seen and heard, and from what I've heard from Ron and Bill, this sounds like a fantastic drone. You know, I don't think Bill's on anymore tonight, or I'm not seeing Ron on here. Floyd, you're right. You're absolutely right. That's just, I don't get it. I don't understand it. And you know, and I don't understand people like that. I don't know where they're getting their kicks as far as doing that's concerned. I mean, you know, where I like to fly, I always see my drone. It's always in line of sight. I mean, seriously, that's the way it is, and that's the way it is for me. So, Hubsan needs. You're right, Ron. You're absolutely right about Hubsan. You know, and if they get that with this, sky's gonna be the limit. It may be the best-selling drone of the Christmas season, if it pans out. And I'm very anxious to hear what Ron has to say with that. say about that, because I may definitely check that out. That's something under strong consideration for that. So I don't know how many of you guys saw. Original Dobo did another video on the Evo. I don't know if you're still on or not, Ken. That was a great video. Thank you for putting that out there. Thank you for putting that together. And ignore the negative comments. That's what I try to do, or delete them. That's my best advice to you. I know it bothers me too, my friend. But that was a great video you put out on it. And let me tell you, I had limited time, but I flew Rick Smith's Evo for about 45 minutes or so, and I was very impressed with it. I was impressed with the build quality. I was impressed with the flight and the maneuverability. I didn't get a chance to do video with it because we were under such a limited time crunch, but it really impressed me. Its stability, maneuverability. It was easy to fly. It was very easy to fly. That controller is awesome. I love it. Definitely. And they'll probably, I think from what Ken was saying, they may knock $100 off or so. I think it's $100 off right now, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely check out Ken's video. He did a great job on that. And I know what it's like. I saw him get real frustrated with that, filming that video, because he didn't want cars going by, and cars were going by. And so, yeah, I get you on that, my friend. I really do. But yeah, so, that's something definitely you want to keep in consideration as well. The Evo has an excellent camera on it, and kudos to Autel. And this is, it's kudos to Autel time, because I think they did a fantastic job with taking care of their software issues on this, unlike the X-Star Premium. And I think, Original Dobo can speak to this as well, because I had one as well. And great Joan. See, the thing, Autel, they make fantastic hardware. There is absolutely no question about that. Their problem has been with the software, and it really was with the X-Star Premium. In fact, I think their update was never came out of beta for the X-Star Premium. It's not ha-ha funny, but it's funny. But they've really worked to make sure they're taking care of the Evo, and people have seemed incredibly pleased with it. Absolutely incredibly pleased with that. I mean, that's a powerful drone, and I think it's a great drone. And you definitely, if you can afford to get a second drone, with that camera on there, with its capabilities, do it. Ken's put out a great video, so definitely go check his video out on that. That's for sure. I'm trying to push a lot of fluids, guys, so I need to get this. I need to get this through me. So we did talk about CES. Wanted to talk about Spin Up for a second. How many of you, give me a yes or a thumbs up, are going to Spin Up? The event that's going to be hosted by Kelly from Ready Set Drone. How many of you guys going? Brian, that's a fantastic idea. Maybe Brian, ping me on that. We can get together. I have a Mavic 2 Pro, so maybe we can do that some weekend. I think that would be fantastic, and see how that would compare. So ping me on that, definitely, and we could work that out. I have no problem doing that. I think that would be good. Bought it directly from DJI, used billing. Can you extra? Okay. Yeah, I think that would be fantastic, Brian, to put out a video about that and do the comparison using a 20 megapixel from the Pro. I think that would be really good. So how many of you guys? Okay, Howard, yes. Who else will be going? Steve Carpenter, you're still a war. Okay. So what do you guys think? Are you guys going to Spin Up? Yes, going to Spin Up. Thank you, Steve Carpenter. I did talk to Kelly a little bit about that, and I'm very hopeful of being able to do that. I just have to arrange finances, because it's going to be 2 trips pretty much back to back, one here in December and then one coming up in January. So, you know, it's on the radar. You know, I definitely, it's definitely on the radar. So, I wish it could. You live too far away, Dronescape. Yeah, you know, it's a great idea that Kelly came up with, and I really like. I think Ken Herron and he got together on this. I think, and it's fantastic for you know, he's asked me that, you know, he definitely would have me as a speaker. So you guys would have to put up with listening to me. So I don't know. You guys put up with me every Tuesday night, so maybe you can put up with me for an hour down there. I think that's going to be fun. It's going to be a blast. And I think, and see, one of the things, and I think Brian will talk about this as well, because I know he's gone to trade shows and conferences before. You know, the best part about that is, I mean, yeah, the seminars are great, the workshops are great. You take a lot away. You can bring stuff back for your own. So one of the things, yeah, family of 5, yeah, that's great. That would be great. It'd be awesome to meet you. Guys need to check out Family of 5. He has a great channel. I'm putting a plug in for you, my friend. You do great work on there. You know, whether you're doing cameras or whether you're doing drones, 2 thumbs up. So check out Family of 5. Definitely, he's got a great channel. He lives in Texas. But you know, with Spin Up, I think that's gonna be a great show. I think it's gonna be worth getting out there. It'll be worth your time and effort. So definitely you want to check that out. I'm putting a plug in for you, Kelly, if you're listening. So Dustin Moorhead, I have a Mavic 2 Pro, could possibly get together sometime. Yeah, that would be, you know, if you want to, Dustin, if you want to do that, that's fine too. I think that would make a fantastic video. Lloyd Mendenhall, thank you so much for showing up tonight. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, that would be good. And like I said, the best part about that is meeting other people, meeting other, you know, fellow either YouTubers or, you know, meeting subscribers. I think that's fantastic. You know, best part about going to, you know, see the bigger picture, meeting everybody. It really was. You know, I got, you know, I'd already met Rick Smith before, but for the first time got to meet Billy, got to meet Ken. Got to meet Kelly from Ready Set Drone, got to meet Ed Ricker, who Ed is just like, I can't believe how tall he is. I knew Kelly was tall, but I had no idea Ed was that tall. Just crazy. What did you miss? I plugged the show for tomorrow night, Bill. I plugged Bucket List Boys for tomorrow night. So 8:30 Eastern on Coast to Coast Drones, Drone Therapy, Bucket List Boys. So we plugged that. I did talk about Ron and talking about the Hubsan Zino a little bit. So yes, I did get that in. Yeah, DumbTube. Yeah, I know. That would be great. It would be wonderful to see you. And that's the thing. You know, I wish we could do something like that overseas as well too, and get over there. But I don't know where, you know, logistics and figuring something like that out is. It's like, holy cow. I am feeling better, and hopefully, Dronescape Imaging, thank you. With Original Dobo as far as video content, but I do need Mavic 2 Pro, minus California. Okay, Brian, thank you. You know, as far as you know, I am feeling better, and I'm going to be making some phone calls this week. I want to look into seeing about doing another get together, another meet here in Central Florida, like we did. Probably about a month or so ago with Original Dobo and Billy. That went off so well and had such great attendance. And Brian's gave me a great idea. I'm going to make some phone calls. We're going to see about getting this and making this happen. That should be a lot of fun. Family of 5, you should go. I think it will definitely be a great time. Hope you're not too far from Austin to get there. So we're going to kind of wind things down here a little bit. Before you guys leave, please make sure you hit the like button. And thank you guys, because you've been doing that. I asked you last week. You did that. Thank you guys for hammering that like button. I appreciate that a lot. That really means a lot to me. Yeah, you're flying in on Friday and flying out Monday, so you're going to have direct flights, Family of 5. Yeah, I have there's direct flights from Tampa there on Southwest, Steve. So that's fantastic. If you guys need to do that, definitely check that out. So like I said, I got a video coming out as soon as I get it produced here after we're done. on the Enterprise, and some of my thoughts about that and some of the details on that as well. So be sure to be watching for that. Got a video coming out on CES this weekend, and also probably a video or two about what I think is going to happen at CES as far as DJI is concerned. So you definitely want to check those videos out. Also want to give you guys a sneak peek here. Okay. We're going to have, I have a lot of things to give away here coming up in the month of December. Now I'm going to hold off on having giveaways in November. So I'm going to try to have, the 12 drone days of Christmas. All right. And I'm trying to wrap my head around it. And I'm talking about Valerie and kicking around ideas about exactly. The Green Meanie, thank you for showing up tonight. Appreciate that. Going to work out something called like the 12 days of Christmas for drones. And I'm going to be trying to do a giveaway once a day. Do like a 5-minute live stream at night where I pick the winner the day before. So, trying to work something along those lines out. Trying to wrap my head around the logistics around this. But I got some Christmas lights, like the old-fashioned lights. They're battery powered. One of my friends, he works at Disney. He bought it for us there. We had a blast at Epcot last year. We went around November-ish, December-ish. We had a blast. It was cold. It was really cold at Epcot, believe it or not. It does get cold down here in Florida. But yeah, we're gonna have a giveaway. December's going to be a month of giveaways here on Bill the Drone Reviewer. So be looking forward to that. It's going to include some of the things you've seen me review. It's also going to include I'm going to have some gift cards as well too to give away. So you guys definitely want to stay tuned for this. We're going to have a blast here in December. I promise you, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to do a wrap-up video probably maybe mid-December-ish on the year, just kind of like a compile of things and what we've kind of talked about this year and what we're looking forward to in 2019. So kind of stay tuned for that. Yeah, 123 the man. Yeah, thank you for that. Definitely get that posted out there or send me an email. Because he does have an outstanding question, and that's definitely the best place to get the answer. So want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. Thank you. And if you didn't watch the opening again, if you joined late, definitely go back and watch at least the first couple minutes of the broadcast, because I have a new opening for Tuesday Night Rotor Talk Live, and I'm going to have a new one for Sunday afternoon Rotor Talk Live. I still have a little bit more up my sleeve. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast tonight. Please make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Thank you guys so much. Brian from Smoky Mountain Aerial Imaging, thank you for showing up tonight. Rick Halber, thank you. Steve Carpenter, thank you. For Bill from Coast to Coast Drones, thank you for showing up tonight. Everybody, Lon, Chris, everybody, thank you guys for showing up. Family of 5, thank you guys. Have a great rest of your evening, and remember, it's a great day to fly. Take care, guys.